have put in much. If you ever have any questions about the realm within, you may ask me.
Ad Astra Abyss. Thank you for completing today's commissions. Ad Astra. Ad Astra Abyssosk.
escape!
Let me leave you at first. Busted.
Right!
Game's up. Time's over.
This is order.
Now you shall perish! Illusion shattered!
Witness the power of the white.
Shine down!
Quake!
Gotcha! Inazuma shines eternal!
Here comes the cash. No, my sword! mind. Time to act.
Miss Ganyu, it's been too long. I don't know why, but seeing you brings me a sense of peace in these chaotic times.
Indeed, it has been a while, Weishin. I'm flattered, but aren't you exaggerating a little? I heard that you've encountered some problems and came to see if I could be of some help.
My father asked you to come, didn't he? Abusing his status as a member of the Qixing to trouble you.
Don't worry. I'm always happy to help a junior colleague from Yuehai Pavilion.
Ganyu's not only a competent secretary, but also a great mentor.
So, what can you tell me about the problem?
Ugh, where should I start? I discovered something strange while organizing tax records. There are obvious irregularities in the tax declarations of two stores, Second Life and Wanyo Boutique. However, whether I question the shopkeepers or check their accounts, I can't seem to make any progress with my investigation. Without any evidence, my hands are tied.
I see. It's not uncommon for merchants to be blinded by greed.
Well, is there any solution you can advise?
Naturally. I've dealt with similar issues hundreds of times. Give me a moment to consider the best approach in this scenario. All right. Let's approach it this way, then. Your enemy knows you best.
Huh?
If I remember correctly, Second Life and Wanyo Boutique are old business rivals, competing for market share due to their similar wares. In that case...
In that case... Ah! I know what you mean, Miss Ganyu.
Exactly. Let's start with Wanyo Boutique. The owner's name is... Bolai, isn't it?
Yes, you're right. Follow me, please.
Aha! We meet again, traveler. And you must be from the Yuehai Pavilion? I suppose you're about to place a big order. I'd be honored to offer you my wares.
That won't be necessary, Mr. Bolai. Wanyo Boutique's credit is not sufficient to accept orders directly from Yuehai Pavilion. Should we need to place such an order, we would certainly go to Second Life instead.
What? Second Life? Ugh. That rascal Dongsheng. He's stealing all of my customers.
Well, Second Life's credit has always been excellent, and based on their tax records, their business is thriving.
Oh, Tax records? Thriving?
Huh. Is there anything you'd like to share with us, Mr. Bolai?
Don't let that rascal fool you. I know his dirty tricks best. If you don't believe me, show me his tax records. I'm sure I'll find something fishy in there.
You know Second Life's business so well?
Of course. Ugh, their every transaction makes my blood boil. I'd rather lose money myself than see that rascal make some.
Well then, please look over this tax record. We'll review Second Life's credit based on your observations.
Oh, of course. I'll read very, very carefully. Line by line and word by word. Ah, here, I found it! That exquisite wooden furniture set he bought from Fanmu Carpenters at the beginning of the year. Ugh, he even flaunted it in front of me. Look at the tax record. Not a word about that furniture. And he kept all the profit for himself.
I see. He must have gotten rid of all the documents related to this transaction. No wonder there was no trace of it.
I told you so. Just as I expected. Ugh, I can't wait to watch him squirm.
But, Ms. Ganyu, despite all this, can't he just flat out deny ever making this transaction?
He might have destroyed all the evidence, but I believe the supplier, Fanmu Carpenters, might still have some proof of it.
Aha, you're right. Master Lu from Fanmu Carpenters must still have the invoice. He wouldn't be swayed by the likes of Dongshin.
I hope so. Let's go to Fanmu Carpenters. It should be near Chingsa Village. Thank you for shining a light on this case, Mr. Balai.
Oh, please, please, that's nothing. I just hope you won't be lenient with him once you find the evidence. That's the best way to show your gratitude.
I'm afraid I can't go to Chingsa Village.
It's all right, Weishin. You can stay in Liyue Harbor and finish your work. Leave the rest to us.
Oh, that's so considerate of you. Still, I'm sorry to trouble you like that.
Ah, welcome, welcome. How can an old carpenter like me help you? I'm usually happy to take new apprentices, but I'm afraid I can't take too many at once. But I'm always around if you're keen for a chat.
Chingsa really is full of lonely old people.
Hey, I heard that, Flying One.
I'm sorry.
Master Lu, we've just come to see you and ask you some questions.
Ah, don't worry, I know. You're from the Yuehai Pavilion, right? Why would the Qixing care about an old man like me? Well, whatever. You said that you want to ask me something. Ask away, then.
You're very direct, Master Lu. I will be plain. We're looking for proof that Dongshin from Second Life has been evading taxation. Dongshin bought some furniture from you at the beginning of the year. Do you still have the invoice or any other record of that transaction?
Oh, it's about Second Life. It was a big order. How could I forget?
Sure enough, Mr. Balai was right. Could we perhaps borrow that invoice? We won't have any evidence to bring against Dongshin otherwise.
Of course you can. But I'm not so sprightly anymore.
What's that supposed to mean?
I only do my woodwork and display finished wares here at Fanmu Carpenters. As for old documents and such, I keep them all in a warehouse west of here. But some troublemakers have recently moved there, invading my warehouse. I tried to drive them away, but they just wouldn't leave. Since you need that invoice anyway, it may be best to get it from the warehouse yourself. And while you're at it, you can teach those louts a lesson.
So that's what happened. I see.
I'll leave you to it then. I need to get back to work.
Take back the warehouse, find the invoice. Time for us to show our stuff in a fight.
Wait, I think I saw one of those troublemakers. Ah, over there.
Oh, Paimon sees them too. It's one of the Fatui.
They must be plotting something against Liyue Harbor.
Maybe they're the scoundrels who invaded Master Lu's warehouse.
Ever since Osial attacked the harbor, the Fatui's reputation in Liyue has reached rock bottom. We won't cause a serious diplomatic crisis by getting into some small scuffle with the Fatui within our borders. You need not worry. Besides, I can already feel their malicious intentions. Consider it my intuition as the secretary of the Qixing.
Then what are we waiting for? Let's go teach him a lesson.
Frozen. Dawn, break forth!
Illusion shattered! Ha!
Ring cutter.
Freshness preserved. Chill to the bone.
Now you shall perish!
Game's up. Fun's over.
Dawn, break forth! Oh no!
Shine down!
Oh, you scoundrels!
I think you've had enough. About time you tell us your plan. No?
Plan? What plan?
We just taught you a lesson, but clearly you weren't paying attention. If you don't spill whatever you're scheming against Liyue, we'll be forced to use harsher methods.
I'm telling the truth. There's no scheme.
If you're telling the truth, then why would you, a member of the Fatui, suddenly appear on the outskirts of Qingce village?
Fine. If you really want to know, then, well, I was about to.
About to... what?
Pick berries over there.
I must admit, I didn't expect you to come up with such a silly excuse.
It's not an excuse. I rarely have a free morning, and I heard that there were fresh berries in this area. Think about it. I'm here alone, and Qingce Village is nothing more than a retirement spot for old people. What could I be scheming anyway?
Judging by how he's looking at us, it does seem like he feels like he's the victim here.
So you have nothing to do with the occupation of Fanmu Carpenter's warehouse?
Fanmu Carpenter's warehouse? Where's that? I swear, I only came here to pick berries, that's all.
So it wasn't the Fatui who took over Master Lu's warehouse after all.
I also feel that he's telling the truth.
Whoopsie!
I misjudged the situation and offended you. My apologies. Our exchange only represents my personal views. If you wish it so, you can file a complaint to the Ministry of Civil Affairs.
Exchange? This woman, she's clearly aware that the Ministry of Civil Affairs wouldn't side with us, Fatui.
Yes, precisely. As an alternative, you may try to solve this problem with force once again.
Paimon's in!
Darn you. How can you wear that solemn face while bullying me like this?
What's your choice then?
I'll get back to my berries.
What a bittersweet ending.
I made a laughingstock out of myself. I might have spent too much time away from work. My intuition is not as accurate as it used to be.
No worries. It's always nice to teach the Fatui a lesson.
Let's keep moving towards Master Lu's warehouse. Our goal is to get the invoice, after all.
Rain outlines your... So this is the warehouse. Seems like those troublemakers were nothing more than a few hair churls. Let's show them what we got. Know my sword! Witness the power of the one!
Inazuma shines eternal! Illusion shattered! Now you shall perish!
Things are about to get dicey.
Race to the wicked!
Busted.
Rain outlines your fate. Let me...
Shine down! Ha!
Gotcha.
Clear! Quick, let's look around for the invoice. This one is an invoice from One Min Restaurant. Some dining tables and chairs. That's not it. This one is Wangsheng Funeral Parlors. Oh, so they make coffins too. This one is Second Lives. We finally found it. Let's bring this invoice back to Huishin.
Treasure. One way to draw your target out of hiding.
Jialiang. Jialiang! Jialiang! Jialiang!
Dad, are you awake?
Jiangli, are you? Didn't I... Huh? What are these?
How does it feel to come back to life?
Do you feel strange or different in any way? If so, could you describe it to me in detail?
Dr. Baizhu, I thought that I was going to...
Die? You did indeed. As things stand now, you're more akin to a zombie than a human.
I'm a zombie?
That's right. Before we set off, I asked Chi-Chi to prepare an elixir of immortality. With its help, you have been suspended in the space between life and death. Of course, this is but a crude imitation of an Adeptus art. I don't expect it to extend your life indefinitely. Whether it will keep you alive for a few days, a few months, or a few years, I am as interested as you to find out. But, however long you have left, I believe it should be more than sufficient time for you to say your final goodbyes before departing the world in peace. I hope that Director Hu finds this arrangement to be a satisfactory one.
An elixir of immortality? How'd you cook that up? Ugh. Leave it to you to work on something like that behind my back.
It's a work in progress that hardly lives up to its name, and it would have had no effect were it not for Jialiang's iron will. In the end, I am merely a doctor. I understand very little of the great principles governing life and death and the perpetual cycle of yin and yang. All I know is that if I'm presented with a life that deserves to be saved, I will do everything in my power to save them. And even this would have counted for nothing without Director Hu's assistance. After all, did you not tell Jia Liang to show us the way before we set off for Qingce Village?
Oops. And I'm busted.
Without Director Hu nudging things in the right direction, we may not have found Jiangli in time.
No wonder he didn't mention the elixir back then. I thought he was being frank and transparent with me for once, but apparently not.
Director Hu told me to keep her suggestion a secret, but it seems nothing escapes Dr. Baiju's attention.
Never underestimate a serpent's sense of smell.
All I wanted was to help Jialiang find his missing wife as soon as possible, so that he could be on his way to the afterlife without any unfulfilled wishes making the journey more difficult than it needs to be. Leave it to Boo Boo Pharmacy to snatch the perfect opportunity right out of my hands at the last hurdle. Never mind. I'll just have to put it down in the books as a deferred consideration. One Chi-Chi was enough of a conundrum. The last thing I need's another one. If I'd known this was coming, I'd have whisked him off to the Wangsheng funeral parlor the moment I found him.
You stay away from my dad! When I grow up, I'm gonna become an even better doctor than Mom and Baizhu, and cure Dad for good!
Oh, is that right? Well, you wouldn't be the first person who's tried to put Wangsheng Funeral Parlor out of business. If you're serious about it, you'll have your work cut out for you. Traveler, Paimon, I'll catch you all another time.
Is she finally gone? All's well that ends well. If you ask Paimon, we should probably do something to celebrate this hard-earned family reunion. At times like this, a grand celebratory feast is in order.
It feels like it was a whole lifetime ago when I last talked with Zhongli and Ayu around the dinner table.
Yay! Paimon can't wait! Alright, first things first, off to the market for some fresh ingredients. Let's go!
Wait up! I'll come too!
Baizhu, thank you so much for everything you've done for us.
Don't mention it, Jiangli. I was just doing my duty.
Just your duty, huh? Baizhu, Changsheng, would you mind if we took this conversation outside?
Now that you are part zombie, there are some rules that you need to know.
Yes, ma'am. I'm listening.
First, don't forget to stretch your body regularly. Second, don't forget to...
Yes? Go on. Don't forget to...
I forgot.
Time flies. It's been so long since we bade each other farewell in Chenyu Vale. Changsheng, you're the same as ever. You haven't changed one bit.
You, on the other hand, have changed a lot.
You're right. My younger self would have never imagined that things would one day turn out this way. Or that you'd turn out this way, Baizhu. I've taken a look at your elixir of immortality. It's not altogether dissimilar from the poison I concocted in terms of the way it functions.
I have to say, Jiangli, it was a stroke of genius to use poison to maintain life. I hope you're not too upset at me for copying your methods.
No, not at all. With your intellect, even if you'd never seen my poison, I believe you would have eventually arrived at the same approach. But I'm still impressed by how quickly you managed to gain such a thorough understanding of it. Jialiang's still only been in your care for a few days. Not just that, you even managed to improve upon the original formula. That cannot be explained by intellect alone. Baizhu, be honest with me. Did you try out some of the poison on yourself?
Huh. Told you the truth would surface sooner or later.
Life force isn't the only thing that Changsheng's contract lets you transfer between bodies, is it?
Nothing gets past you, Jiangli. You are correct. Besides life force, Changsheng's secret art also allows for the transfer of toxins and diseases. When I treated Jialiang for the second time, I transferred some of the poison from his body into my own. Not only did this allow me to alleviate the burden on him, but it also gave me an opportunity to study its properties. There is no need to worry about any long-term consequences to my health, however. Now that the source has been destroyed, any remaining poison in me will have already dissipated.
But you took such a huge risk. If we hadn't destroyed the god's remains back there, then even you might have... What am I saying? I'm in no position to criticize you for this. The reason I left our master and went into hiding all those years ago was that he was getting old. And I didn't want him using up any more of his own life force to treat my husband. But in the end, how were my methods any different? I risked one life to save another. And then you tried the poison on yourself too. It looks like both of us have ended up going the same way as our master before us. Are all disciples of Chenyu Vale destined to turn out this way? To live a short life, having given away our own for the sake of others? To fight relentlessly against the natural course of life and death, whatever the cost? Maybe our fate is sealed the moment we decide to study medicine.
We are doctors, Jiangli. We ought never say that anyone's fate is sealed.
Baizhu, I can tell that, over the years, You've used the contract with Changshang to transfer many diseases and toxins to yourself. There are so many that some of them I don't even recognize. Can you still stop before it's too late?
I think you know the answer, Jiangli. Every one of us from Chenyu Vale believes in the same thing.
Hey, food's ready!
Mom, come and join us. The Traveler taught me a load of new recipes and said even Dad'll be able to taste them. Come and try them out.
Yes, darling. Mom will be there in just a second. Hey, slow down. Baizhu, I know I won't be able to convince you, but please don't forget that if one day you're not around anymore, Qiqi, Gui, and all the friends who have grown fond of you, they will all miss you dearly.
There's no need to worry, Jiangli. I know what I'm doing.
I can only hope so.
Baizhu, what did Jiang Li mean by not around anymore? Are you gonna be okay? Every single mortal I've ever contracted with, including Baizhu and Jiang Li's master, has passed away at a young age. Wait, that doesn't make any sense. You said that the contract with you helps people live longer.
It is a very long story.
Long ago, when plagues ravaged the land, one doctor made a pledge to rid the world of pain and suffering. But even the most ingenious mortal medicine could not stay the tide of disease. And after working tirelessly for many years, even his dearest loved ones fell sick and bade their final farewell. Legends told of an herb lord in Chenyu Vale who could cure any illness known to mankind. The doctor sought the herb lord, but found only a white snake, its breathing weak and its power all but spent.
Sign this contract and let our lives be joined. Then I will impart to you the secret art of healing. But be warned, this art will harm your own health.
With means beyond human ken, the doctor could now reverse the process of death. And yet, the time still came to say goodbye. Only now, the one departing was the doctor, his life force spent. His final act in life was to pass on the contract to his final patient, his favorite disciple. The disciple chose to dedicate their life to saving the lives of others. And generation upon generation followed in these footsteps. Since I inherited this contract, I've always respected the path taken by my predecessors, and followed it myself unquestioningly. That is, until I tried to use the art to save my own disciple's beloved. She begged me not to use up my own life force. She said that this art is a poison chalice, an evil and unnatural practice. She did not wish to sacrifice one life for the sake of another, when both were lives she treasured. Only then did it occur to me. Did I not suffer when my master passed away, just as patients' families do at their loved one's deathbed? Are not the lives cut short by this contract just as worthy of saving as any patients? What is this contract to us? Medicine or poison? Alas, I no longer have enough time left. to find the answer. I entrust to your care both Changsheng and this final question. May you find a remedy for this conundrum, which has ailed us so.
Time and again, no matter how much I try to warn them or balance their chi, I can never save them. And you? What's your answer?
If I abandoned the contract and left you without a host, what would happen?
I suppose I'd spend my final moments taking a nice nap on Mount Yaojun. Then I'd be reunited with my old friends and your predecessors.
Then it's decided. If there's a life in front of me that deserves to be saved, why shouldn't I do everything within my power to save it?
Once again, it's the same answer. So be it. Close your eyes. Who knows how many more people will take on this contract?
None. This contract will end with me.
My contract has strict requirements on the host's natural temperament. All my hosts have been most pure of heart.
But when one with an altruistic nature gains access to this art, they are more seduced than the average person by the miracle of overturning the laws of life and death. Though they know better than anyone else the fate that awaits them, when faced with the sorrows of humanity and the pain of losing their nearest and dearest, they cannot help but reach beyond human means. They are like moths that throw themselves into the flame, seeking a glimmer of hope in a dark world filled with pain and suffering.
So, Baiju, does that mean...
I suppose that would make me a moth that yearns for the light, but doesn't want to be burned to a crisp. Changsheng's art can transfer pain and suffering between people, but it cannot reduce the total amount of pain in the world. It's just like we witnessed. Either Jia Liang feared for Jiang Li's life, or Jiang Li grieved over Jia Liang's sacrifice. I have nothing but the utmost respect for my predecessors, who sacrificed their lives for their principles. But I do not wish to join their ranks, nor do I wish to pass on this contract to anyone else in the future.
Huh? But didn't you already transfer a ton of diseases onto yourself?
What makes a poison, poison? And what makes a disease, a disease? When it comes down to it, are not both mechanisms that affect the operations of the human body? If disease is defined as deviation from normal functioning, then who knows? Perhaps the true elixir of immortality could in fact be a kind of poison. Many may view the notion of searching for immortality in poisons and illnesses as a flagrant violation of the natural order. But to me, it is no different from the way our ancestors tested the medicinal qualities of herbs by sampling each and every one. I don't want those who come after me to lose their lives to this contract. Nor do I wish for Changsheng to perish from losing her host. This leaves only one solution, doesn't it? Precisely. I will be Changsheng's final host, and the tradition of passing down the contract will end with me.
Even the gods of old struggle to achieve true immortality. First you want to save others, then you want to save yourself. Now you even want to save me. You're getting greedy, Baiju.
But isn't wanting to have it all what makes us human? For a selfish moth like me, who's afraid of the flame yet yearns for the light, the only path forward is up towards the moon.
For once, Paimon just does not know what to say.
Dr. Baiju, Traveler, what are you still chatting about? The food's about to get cold.
We also have coconut milk for Changsheng and Paimon.
Okay, fine. Let's go grab some food. Paimon has a bunch of burning questions, but they can wait till after we've eaten. I do envy Paimon sometimes. Eating her fill is enough to satisfy her body and mind.
True. And yet, although we call them simple pleasures, are such things as these not precisely why we mortals cling desperately to the life we have?
Ms. Ganyu, you're back. I hope it wasn't too much trouble rushing about like that.
I promise to help you, and I'll keep my word. Nothing to worry about. Look, it's the invoice for the transaction between Second Life and Fanmu Carpenters. We've brought it back.
Oh, thank you so much. Now we can solve this problem.
Agreed. How about we go to Second Life and have a nice chat with the owner?
Isn't it Huixin from the Yuhai Pavilion? I remember you. I told you that all of my transactions are included in the records. My tax declarations are scrupulous as well. I do hope that my business won't be affected by any groundless accusations.
Groundless accusations? Mr. Dongsheng, you seem very sure of yourself. But I sincerely advise that you cease this behavior immediately. It is liable to affect the fine you'll need to pay in the end.
No. I'm an honest merchant. I would never get involved with any fraudulent sources of profit.
Haven't I made myself clear? Mr. Dongsheng, you've already been proven guilty of tax evasion. I just came here to see if you'd confess.
What? Proven guilty? How come? That's impossible. Absolutely absurd.
He's talking without rhyme or reason. Must be crumbling under Ganyu's pressure. Time for the finishing blow!
Mr. Dongsheng, can you tell me what this is?
It's an invoice from Fanmu Carpenters. I'm Master Lu. I didn't...
Do you admit to tax evasion? This transaction was absent from the tax record.
I didn't think you'd find out. I didn't leave a single trace.
Indeed. We wouldn't have found out if it weren't for Mr. Boalai's aid.
Balai? That imp from Wanyo Boutique? So he told on me behind my back. He's got his own share of dirty laundry.
Oh? Mr. Dongsheng, I'd like to hear a little more about this dirty laundry. Would you care to elaborate? I don't think you'll need my guidance for what comes next.
Yes, thank you, Ms. Ganyu. I can take it from here.
That's good.
I I must say, you're truly impressive, Ms. Ganyu. Your enemy knows you best. To think, you came up with this plan and executed it so masterfully.
It's actually one of your father's, the Tianshu's, old tricks. I just took some inspiration from it.
My father?
Pitting your opponent against their enemies and watching them drag each other down from an advantageous position, that's how Uncle Tien managed to keep his position in the Qixing secure for so many years. I figured that as Uncle Tien's daughter, you'd naturally grasp your father's strategies. So, I decided to use one of your father's tricks and play it out for you to see.
I can see it now. Clearly, I still have a lot to learn about my father. I'm really grateful, Ms. Ganyu. You're the kindest mentor I've ever had. Thank you.
Ganyu solved both Huixin's work and family problems. 2 birds with 1 stone.
Oh, you've helped me so much. You must allow me to repay your kindness.
That's not necessary. No need to be so serious. It was nothing, really.
Then let me treat you to a meal. The Traveler and Paimon are invited as well. I appreciate your help.
Alright, come on, Ganyu. Just say yes. Let's eat! Oh, come on. It's just a meal.
If it's just a meal, there's no reason for me to decline. It'll be my pleasure, Huixin.
Actually, I've already booked Senor Kiosk. I need a moment to prepare everything first. Let's meet there in a while.
All right. We dare not refuse such generosity.
Miss Ganyu, thank you for accepting my invitation. And as for the 2 of you, your presence is also much appreciated.
Sure.
That's so kind of you, Huixin. You went to great lengths to organize this.
Truth be told, apart from thanking you for all the help, there's something I'd like to tell you.
Oh? If there's anything I can help you with, just tell me straight away. No need to hesitate.
Oh, no, I don't really need help. Could you just listen for a bit?
With pleasure.
When I was a little girl, my father used to tell me many stories about you, Miss Ganyu. Even though I have the utmost respect for my father, I always admired how gentle and reliable you are. I've only decided to join the Yuhai Pavilion staff because I've always looked up to you.
I didn't know that you think so highly of me.
However, in reality, working at the Yuhai Pavilion turned out to be an arduous task. I can't compare myself to such an outstanding secretary like you. I often doubt myself as a result.
I disagree. You're a great secretary in your own right.
Thank you. Over the years, I became a mother, too.
Huh? So Uncle Tien is a grandpa!
Influenced by my youthful ideals, she followed my footsteps and came to be a secretary at the Yuhai Pavilion, too. At first, I was worried about her. It's not an easy job, after all. To tell the truth, I'm still unsure if she's capable enough. But after all that happened this time, I've made up my mind to support her choice.
So, what made you change your mind?
The fact that she'll have you, Ms. Ganyu, as her senior colleague. You'll help her, gentle as always, and tell her your mom used to do it like that. It'd be such a beautiful moment. If it's not too much to ask for, she might still need your guidance in 20+ years, too.
Huixin, I never thought that I meant so much to you.
Just like when you showed me my father's trick. Having you as their witness makes people feel at ease.
Witness? It's true that I've witnessed thousands of years of Liyue Harbor's history. All the changes it's gone through, the stories of its people. But I've always regarded it as nothing more than the source of my loneliness. Huixin, you don't know how important those words are to me. You've made me realize that I share another connection with the people of Liyue Harbor. Apart from my contract with Rex Lapis, they rely on me, accept me, and long for me to bear witness to their stories.
Oh, of course. You're irreplaceable to us.
That's right. That's why I can't disappoint you.
Hooray! Ganyu's finally cheered up!
Even if I've really been supplanted, I wish to fight for my place. I won't let you down. I'm going to fulfill my contract and keep working as the Qi Xing secretary. Regardless, I'll go back and see for myself. I'm afraid that it might have all become a mess during my absence. No time to waste. Let's get back to work.
Good luck, Miss Ganyu.
We're leaving already? Paimon's still hungry.
Are you okay? Did you fall asleep standing up? Look! Look who's back!
You even have enough time for leisure? It seems you three are a suitable replacement for me after all.
Not at all. We've been working for too long. If we didn't take a break...
We wouldn't have survived long enough to see you again, Miss Ganyu.
Miss Ganyu, we've missed you.
That's so kind of you all, given we've only met once.
We've been praying day and night for you to return and take over your duties again.
To us, you're like an adeptus coming down to the human world to save all life.
Forget all our envious complaints from before. Just free us from this strenuous work, please.
All right, I see. Please divide the matters at hand into government affairs, business affairs, and civil affairs. Mark out the tasks that haven't been started, and those that are in progress. I'll take care of the rest.
Of course. We'll do it right away.
Oh, finally. We're saved.
Yes. There's one more thing. I'd like to earnestly thank you, Traveler. If it weren't for your companionship, I would still be embroiled in my inner conflict right now. To I'd gained a human friend outside of work. It makes me happier than I could have imagined. I'd like to repay you when I'm done with the work at hand. What would you say if I accompanied you on one of your trips?
Sure, but are you ever done with work on you?
Let's cross that bridge when we come to it, shall we?
If the Tenryo Commission won't assist in dealing with the thunderstorm, the consequences could be catastrophic.
It's not that we're unwilling to do our part. We just don't have any spare hands right now. I hope you can understand.
Exactly. So let's keep the discussion going and see if we can find a solution.
Hey, Toma! What's going on?
Hello you two. We were just talking about what an impact you've made in Inazuma.
Greetings. Thank you both again for delivering Miss Hiragi's letter that time.
Ah, so they're friends of yours. I'm Master Kamaji's servant. Call me Ippe.
Well, the Tri-Commission's work used to consist of gathering information for the Shogun and carrying out any duties she assigned. But recently, she announced that she wishes to spend some time in solitude and self-reflection. Since she is refusing to receive any visitors, there is no one to tell us what to do. We all understand if the Shogun needs some quiet time to gather her thoughts. The only problem is, in the meantime, the thunderstorm out at sea has been getting wilder. Yep, that's the one. And all the time it's been there, the storm has never changed in shape or size. But now, it seems to be drawing closer to Inazuma.
What? So her will's changed and she wants to destroy Inazuma now? Or is this her way of trying to get revenge on us? Oh yeah, you're right. If she really wanted to get revenge on us, she could just strike us with lightning right here! Which would also be pretty scary.
I don't think you need to worry about that. The reason we're concerned is that we've never known the Almighty Shogun's will to falter before.
Considering Liu as god left not too long ago, it's hard not to take it as a bad sign. A lot of people now believe that the thunderstorm is getting wilder because the Almighty Shogun is having health problems. The fact that she won't see anyone right now makes us concerned that things are only going to get worse.
Right. So, before rumors start spreading, Miss Kamisato got me to come here and discuss countermeasures with the Tenryo Commission. We need to make sure we're prepared to deal with the chaos if and when it arrives.
Unfortunately, the reality is that the Tenryo Commission is facing huge internal instability at the moment. The Kujo clan has lost control over the other clans.
Huh? Why is that?
The Kujo clan is still awaiting the Shogun's trial for colluding with the Fatui and nearly destroying the whole of Inazuma. Everyone knows that a change of commissioner is inevitable. It's just a matter of time before the Almighty Shogun hands down her decree.
To put it simply, no one will take orders from the Kujo clan anymore. But there's still work that has to be done.
If Mr. Takayuki was in better health, there might be a way through. But now?
My lack of ability is to blame. I failed to uncover the truth in time. I failed to stop my father. And now, as acting head of the clan, I'm failing to quell the unrest.
Don't blame yourself, Master. You have to at least keep your chin up until your older brother returns. The Kujo clan can't cope with any more instability in its current state.
Yes, you're right. Masahito has enough on his plate at the moment. Mustn't cause any more issues for him. Okay, Toma, let's revisit this discussion in a few days. Right now, I need to go visit Takatsukasa Susumu, head of the Takatsukasa clan. He's the only one capable of taking charge of the situation now.
I suppose. Well, okay, no problem. A speedy resolution to the Tenryo Commission's internal issues is in our best interest as well.
I'll come with you, Master.
No need. I'll handle this by myself.
Oh, okay. Take care then. Come back soon.
If you think about it, both the thunderstorm situation and the issue with the Tenryou Commission have been caused by the Shogun's decision to take some time off, right? If things carry on like this, people will start to panic.
Huh? You can actually do that?
Don't know for sure, but we may as well try. Whether she takes us up on the offer or not will depend on what mood she's in.
Sounds like you guys know what to do. Shall I leave it up to you then? You know, everyone's worrying about the Shogun's condition, but if people got to see her in person, it would put their fears to rest. Thank you very much. I owe you one, again.
The way Paimon sees it, there's only one person who might have the chance to see the Shogun while she's isolating, right? Let's take a trip to the Grand Narukami Shrine!
Your master shouldn't blame himself so much. Anyone else in his position would find it just as difficult to deal with.
Exactly. He puts far too much pressure on himself. The Kujo clan's future isn't looking bright.
I wasn't expecting to receive VIP shrine visitors during downtime. So I suppose you're here just to visit me? How cold. I saved your skin, didn't I? Surely you could at least humor me by engaging in some small talk first? Then again, I suppose your frankness is part of your charm. So tell me, what is the matter?
We heard the Shogun decided to take a break, and since then the thunderstorm around Inazuma has gotten wilder. Rumor has it that the thunderstorm is affected by the Shogun's will, so people are worrying that something might be wrong with her.
All right. There's little purpose in keeping anything hidden from you anyway. Since the battle, the Shogun has been greatly troubled and her temperament has changed drastically.
What?
Her power was already on the decline. Then you dealt her that fateful strike. The defeat was a heavy blow to her. It also didn't help that I forgot to bring her some tricolor dango and light novels when I went to see her. Oh, the poor thing. Without desserts and books to console herself with, she was so angry she quite simply lost it. Crying and ranting and raving. Oh, I could hardly bear to see her that way.
You expect us to believe that a god would throw a temper tantrum over something like that?
Before you get too indignant, consider the fact that your concerns sound every bit as nonsensical to me as that blatant lie did to you. Faye seeks eternity. To her, mortal lives come and go in the blink of an eye. Of what consequence to her are mortal concerns for her well-being?
You're saying she's fine, right?
I don't know the details. She said she wanted to rest, and I have nothing pressing that requires her attention. So there is no reason to disturb her. I have heard about the thunderstorm, though. As to the cause, it is not inconceivable that, as you suggest, her will has wavered somewhat. I am the only one in all of Inazuma who can visit her while she is resting. But tell me, why should this concern me? Why should I do this for you, when I already have everything one could ever want, and have seen everything one could ever wish to see? I like that answer. Here is the pass permit. Show it to the Okuzumeshu at the gate, and he will let you in.
Thanks, Miko!
My question was in jest, but since you answered it in earnest, please stay true to your word. Oh, and don't forget to return the pass permit to me after you have finished with it. She spends all her time alone. Having a visitor once in a while can't do any harm. As the one who shook eternity, you are her potential for change.
Body and mind. Rain outlines your fate.
The Almighty Shogun has requested solitude. No visitors allowed.
Oh, we've got a pass permit from Miko.
Don't be ridiculous. Lady Guji never gives her pass permit to another person. Not even esteemed travelers like yourselves. Guji-ai is only authorized to hold that pass permit because of the trust that the Almighty Shogun places in her, and her alone. Wait, this is authentic. Understood. Then as the Shogun has ordered, I must not stand in your way. Apologies. Please proceed. Since the Shogun is resting at this time, please be especially respectful, and make sure your behavior is impeccable.
Look how she's pacing back and forth. Don't you think she looks a little anxious?
How did you get in? Trespassers are to be eliminated at once.
Wait, no, it's us! Why are you treating us like we're your enemies? We made amends, didn't we? Also, we got in by totally legitimate means!
Denied. Use of force has been forbidden. Anyway, be gone. Do not disturb my solitude. That is of no concern. This is my recuperation state.
What do you make of this? She's acting strange, huh?
This body has no need of rest. But I am an assistant to the one within. If she wishes to rest, I must follow her will.
Paimon gets it. So this is all A's doing. But why? Surely you going about your business doesn't interfere with the plane of euthymia. She's got plenty of space in there. Seems like it would be the perfect place for rest and relaxation.
I do as she wishes. I can say no more than this. I cannot. In my current state, even if I went out, I could do nothing. I am currently unwilling to deal with any business. I am also incapable of it.
What do you mean by that?
It has been forbidden. Please refrain from making me talk any further.
What should we do? Feels like this conversation is going nowhere.
Ah, it's you two. It's been a while. The Shogun can't do much at the moment. Come straight in and see me. It's not your first time. I don't see what there is to be so alarmed about.
So, is the Shogun broken? Are you gonna get it fixed, or...?
Don't worry. The Shogun's not broken. I've just temporarily disabled many of her functions. Currently, the Shogun is unable to handle any business and cannot appear as me. So the easiest solution was to announce that I am resting. As I said, I need to think about Inazuma's eternity, and thinking takes time. But the Shogun is still running based on her old rules. I can't allow her to make any mistakes while I am working things out.
Have you tried turning it off and on again?
No. She was not created to ever be turned off. Furthermore, I had even predicted at the time that I may wish to modify the Shogun's operational rules at some point in the future. However, such changes would not be conducive to eternity. That's why the Shogun has a robust system to safeguard against modification. It's also to protect against unforeseen circumstances. For now, while I figure out the form that eternity should take, it's more effective for me to temporarily disable some of the puppet's functions, rather than attempt to modify her rules.
Oh, Paimon gets it now! The thunderstorm's getting out of control because some of the Shogun's functions have been disabled!
Hmm? The thunderstorm is getting out of control? This is the first I've heard of it.
Huh? Okay, well, let us bring you up to speed.
I see. So the thunderstorm is drawing closer.
You can fix it, right?
It's just a minor error. This kind of thing was bound to happen. A small modification to the Shogun should fix it. Don't look at me like that. I've never had to tinker with the Shogun before, and she's very complicated. It's practically inevitable for something to go wrong when you start tweaking things. Yes, that's it. I'm not making excuses. It's the truth.
It's fine, just as long as you can fix it is all.
Not much. As before, I can see the way forward, yet there are still contradictions. But there is no urgency. To reach an ill-conceived verdict in haste, just for the sake of having reached one, would be a confusion of priorities.
If everyone sees that the Shogun is in good health, it'll put all the speculation and rumors out there to rest. And who knows? A change of scenery might put you in a different mood and give you some fresh inspiration.
You mean leave the plane of Euthymia? Yes, you're right. After all, the Shogun is currently unable to take care of business on my behalf. All right then. I'll come out for a while. Oh, since the theme of the day is a change of pace, you can just call me A. I'm not a great fan of rigid titles.
What? But you're just A's consciousness, aren't you? Can consciousness actually leave this place?
I have my ways. I would never subject myself to imprisonment voluntarily.
Oh, great! Then there's nothing to worry about. Allow us to be your tour guides.
Tour guides? What's a tour guide?
Someone to show you around the Inazuma of today and give you tips on where to eat and how to have fun. All right, let's go, go, go!
There's a familiarity to the scent in the air and the firmness beneath my feet. Now, time for a change of pace. Where should we go?
To the liveliest place in town!
Time to act. Body and mind.
Is this the marketplace? It's a far cry from how I remember it. The stores have changed, and so have the vendors. Well, that's to be expected.
It's the Shogun! What is the almighty Shogun doing here?
Isn't the Shogun sick? This is quite sudden.
I appear to have frightened the people.
Well, what did you expect? The almighty Shogun makes an impromptu appearance in town? People are gonna freak out a bit.
Patrolling the streets is the Tenryou Commission's job. The Shogun has a lot of information to process and orders to give out. She doesn't have time to deal with it herself. Additionally, the Shogun has no need of recreation. There would be no need for her to come here just to pass the time or to relax.
So, what do we do now? Should we go away for a while and make a more low-profile return later?
Why? It's not like I'm here to cause trouble. Let's just relax.
It was more the ordinary people that Paimon was worried about. Never mind. This definitely seems like your style, eh?
People still use Mora in commercial transactions, I assume.
Yep, same as ever. Just as shiny and just as hypnotic. Wait a second. Hey, are you saying you don't have any Mora either?
Of course I don't. There is no need for commerce in the plane of Euthymia. If I ever need something, I can simply have one of the commissions bring it to me. Wait, what do you mean, either? Anyway, people seem to be behaving in a very orderly fashion. I don't see the liveliness you spoke of anywhere.
People aren't exactly gonna let their hair down in front of the almighty Shogun.
What is this stall selling? I don't believe I've ever seen this before.
Shogun, excuse me.
It's all right. Relax. I'm just here to look around. I'm having a change of pace today. Could you tell me about the items you're selling?
Of course. I've got all kinds of snacks here. Takoyaki, dango, and milk, and so on.
Huh? Milk? Sounds kind of like the odd one out.
It might sound odd, but it is in fact my specialty. You see, many of the stores in town are already very well established. I couldn't compete with them no matter what I sell. So my idea was to create some new combinations to give customers a novel experience. For example, my latest concoction is this dango milk. When the dango are worked into a viscous form, they mix very nicely with the milk. The focus is not just the taste, but also the unique texture.
Oh, dango with milk. I've never heard of it. What made you want to do this?
I'm sorry, Shogun. I've got no bone to pick with eternity.
I said relax. There's no need to go treading on eggshells. Do you really think the eternity I pursue is something that can be shaken by dango and milk?
Why do I feel like she's different than I expected? Actually, it came to me by chance. A friend was catering once and made too many dango, so they gave some to me. But there were more than I had use for. My milk wasn't selling well at that time either. Both dango and milk have a short shelf life. So I thought I'd try mixing the two as I had nothing to lose. To my surprise, in the right proportion. It tasted superb.
A chance combination. Interesting. May I try this drink?
The almighty Shogun wants to try? Well, certainly. And you two should try it too.
Nice. It's sweet. The sensation is not so different from eating a dessert. A unique beverage indeed.
Yeah, it's definitely a drink, but it also feels like eating food.
It's a little bit like porridge? But the resemblance is only superficial. Anyway, I like it.
I'm very glad you approve.
I imagine that an item as delicious as this Dango milk must sell exceptionally well, no?
Well, I won't lie to you. Sales are very average.
Huh? So it's selling slowly? Why is that?
Because most people aren't willing to give it a try. They think it's an unusual combination. Even though everyone who's tried it before rates it highly. I'm not saying the almighty Shogun has unusual taste. Please, don't take it the wrong way.
Ah, I see. Well, that can be fixed. I'll just have the Yashiro Commission order a few hundred cups and go door-to-door delivering them.
No, almighty Shogun. That's too much.
Is it? I just want them to try it. It would be a shame for them to miss out on Dango milk. Oh, I would No. No need. That would be needlessly indulgent. There's nothing like dessert for improving one's mood. Much more enjoyable than meditating alone all the time. By the way, Miko mentioned that she founded something called the Yai Publishing House to sell some sort of light novels. She's always bragging to me about it, but it's difficult for me to really imagine without seeing the place for myself. Can you take me there?
Sure! Let's go and have a look!
Oh, the almighty Shogun actually rates my Dango milk. This is incredible. I was thinking of giving up on it, but now... Oh, this is fantastic.
Shogun! Almighty Shogun! What brings you to the Yai Publishing House? Do you have instructions for us?
No, not at all. Don't be so nervous. I'm just here to look around.
Apologies. I still don't quite understand. Are you here to look into the management? Or publishing regulations? Or fire safety measures?
She just wants to browse your books.
The almighty Shogun wishes to... read light novels?
Yes. Any recommendations?
The Yai Publishing House's novels are mostly targeted at the general public, and the content is all kinds of strange. I'm not sure we have anything quite to the almighty Shogun's taste.
I'm just here to try something new. There's no fun in reading the same kind of thing over and over again. Relax. It's just words on a page, isn't it? What could I misunderstand, really?
In principle, you're absolutely right. It's just...
It'll be fine. If there's anything the Shogun doesn't understand, we'll explain it to her.
Well... okay then. Please proceed to the bookshelf over there. It has all the latest bestsellers. There are some winning entries from the This Novel is Amazing competition. I've just finished compiling them into a saleable form. Don't take them too seriously. It's all just a bit of fun.
Okay. Let's go then. Huh. How can this be? Did I underestimate the caliber of this material? I know every individual word in these books' titles, so why is it that they make no sense to me in these particular combinations? Take this one, for example. The good thing about being reincarnated as a hilichurl is that I only need to eat Sansetias to become stronger. It's so long. Is it true that hilichurls grow stronger from eating Sansetias? Well, surely it should be some sort of meat, at least.
It's just a narrative device.
Narrative device. So it's made up? What's the point of that? Without being grounded in reality, how can the story be believable? Also, I'm fairly certain that hilichurls can't write stories. So, does this author claim to be documenting hilichurl life from an outside perspective, perhaps?
Paimon's starting to understand Kuroda's reservations right about now. How about we choose for you? We can pick out some novels that are easier to understand and give you the scoop.
All right, then. I believe myself to be relatively well-read, but with stories like these, I don't even know where to start. I have high hopes, though. This seems like Miko's style, so I'm sure the stories are very entertaining.
All right, leave it to us. We'll be back in a jiffy. This should be a pretty tough job. Let's see what we're up against. What a strange person. Why would someone want to be a novelist that badly? Someone like that could easily become the top martial arts pro in the world. You do have a point. And a character so determined to follow their ambition is likely to appeal to A, right? The suspense is killing Paimon! Paimon only skimmed through, but Paimon can tell this girl has loved the main character with all her heart since childhood. Yeah, she has so much love to give. She deserves it. The plot is really gripping. But would A really understand this kind of mortal romance? With a premise like this, it's no wonder Kuroda was nervous about letting A look around. Paimon thinks it might be best not to bring this one up with A. We might get the author in trouble. Well, if someone turned into Paimon and did a bunch of stuff this Paimon would never do, Paimon would feel really uncomfortable. That's all of them. Let's try to explain them to A.
The looks on your faces tell me you found some good stories. Goodness. Are people in Liyue really so complex these days? Even though the protagonist refuses to acknowledge his innate talents, he has a rare dedication to justice. Where is he now? Does he have plans to visit Inazuma? If so, I will instruct one of the commissioners to bring him to me on his arrival. I would very much like to spar with him.
He's a fictional character. He doesn't exist. What about the antagonist, though? Don't you have any thoughts about their part in the story?
The antagonists? You mean all the people who behaved foolishly? What can I say? They're bad people, and they all got what they deserved. End of story.
A doesn't seem interested in the supporting characters at all. So what do you think of Yae Publishing House's light novels, eh? Do you like the stories we picked?
What I take from these stories is not so much the content itself, but what they represent in terms of the effects of time upon Inazuma. Back when I decided to isolate myself in the plane of Euthymia, there was no Yae Publishing House, and certainly no stories of this kind. In accordance with my wishes, the Shogun did her best to create an eternal nation. A nation that, in theory, should remain entirely unchanged over time. But the fact is that both the food and the stories have changed with time. I disagree with your point of view. That's what I would say if we were still in the plane of Euthymia. But the truth is right here in front of my eyes, and I can't deny it.
And that's exactly why we brought you out, to take a look around and get some fresh ideas. Sure, it's not the same as you remember, but one way or another, people are loving life in the present. That's gotta be a good thing, right?
Yes, you're right. I'm wary of any and all change. But I do not wish for my pursuit of eternity to stop human lives from changing for the better. Thank you for inviting me out. This trip has been quite eye-opening for me. This may be an everyday occurrence for you, but for me, this trip has been quite an occasion. I've seen a lot, and it's made me think a lot. I really can't praise it highly enough. I hope I will remember it for a long time to come.
Ooh, great idea! A's had a wonderful time, and a photo is the best way to remember it!
Take a photo? Once again, I'm faced with a combination of words that makes absolutely no sense to me.
It's okay. Come with us. We'll find a scenic spot and show you what we mean.
So, what are we supposed to be doing?
We're taking a photo of you. Just leave the hard work to us. All you need to do is stand over there and strike a pose. Basically, a photo makes a visual record of you at this very moment in time, so it makes a great souvenir.
Okay, so what exactly is striking a pose? Ah, I see. So in other words, I need to do some sort of visually agreeable action in front of you, right? The more I think about it, the more embarrassing it seems. How should I pose? Help me out here. It should look good, but not too over the top. This isn't coming naturally to me at all. Okay, I'll try that. All right. Well, I'll leave the decision to you. This doesn't feel very... me. Is this okay? All right. Well, I'll leave the decision to you. Casual. How about this? This feels quite natural. All right. Well, okay. I'll try that. Okay, let's get started.
Let's pick a good angle to record this moment from. It's a wrap! Take a look! Here's the photo we took of you.
Wow. This is astonishing. Is it some kind of magic? It seems to be another copy of me. But she doesn't seem to be able to move or talk. I thought it would turn out poorly because I felt rather rigid. But it actually looks more natural than I imagined. The pose is exactly the same, and so is the scenery in the background. I can't imagine how it's achieved.
That's what makes it so special!
Hang on. I'm still struggling to understand this. I need you to explain it again. So, the one in this photo, are you sure it isn't me? If it's not me, then why does she look exactly like me? And if she is me, then who am I?
Okay, that's way above Paimon's head. Over to you, Traveler. Hey, that's right! Do you think the Shogun counts as you?
Of course I do. It was never my intention to place control of Inazuma into anybody else's hands.
So then, who does that make you, here and now?
Well, I'm still me. There is no doubt about that. My existence? I think I understand. I am me. There is only one of me. But I can exist in many different forms. It's not important what form I exist in. The Shogun, for example, is one of my forms of existence. The question of whether or not she is me is not determined by any of her components.
In that case, this picture is one of your forms of existence too.
So even I, who seeks eternity, am constantly changing my form of existence. Then, how can I ask Inazuma and everyone who lives here to remain unchanging? Everything I have encountered on this journey with you has been from beyond my existing sphere of knowledge. You've seen a lot of my ignorant side today. Maybe you can't tell, but all this has challenged my understanding of things. Based on what I have seen today, I am forced to accept that Inazuma is a completely different place from the one I remember. But it would be incorrect to conclude from this that the Inazuma of today is no longer Inazuma. Both the Vision Hunt Decree and the statue of the Omnipresent God were conceived as a means of bringing about eternity. But if I were really getting closer to eternity, none of this ever would have happened. Perhaps I've been holding on to everything too tightly.
Sounds to Paimon like Ace figured things out. And that means that we've done a really great job as her guides.
Master Kamaji! Master Kamaji!
Why is it getting so noisy down there? Oh, that sounded like Ippei. What could be the matter?
Ippei, is that someone from the Tenryou Commission?
Yep, let's find out what's going on. Hey, Ippei, what's the matter?
Ah, it's you. Huh? The almighty Shogun. You must be looking for my master, Kujo Kamaji? I am very sorry, he's not here at the moment. But if it pleases you, I will gladly deliver a message on your behalf.
It's okay. I'm not here to see him. We just heard you calling out, so we came to see what was going on.
Yes. Master Kamaji still hasn't returned from the negotiations, and I'm starting to get worried. In fairness, he does have a habit of taking long walks and coming back late. It's perfectly possible that he just found somewhere he likes and lost track of time. But for some reason, today, I'm particularly nervous.
Kujo Kamaji. A descendant of the Kujo clan, I presume.
That's right. Apologies, since the head of the clan is in poor health at the moment, and Master Masahito is rarely home, Master Kamaji is currently serving as representative of the Kujo clan.
I have heard that things are quite tumultuous with the Tenryou Commission at present. Does this have anything to do with Kujo Kamaji?
Forgive us, almighty Shogun. The Kujo clan has failed in its duty. The Kujo clan's reputation is damaged, and its power over the Tenryou Commission is in decline. Plus you, you have yet to issue a verdict on the Commission's future. So, Master Kamaji decided to enter negotiations with the Takatsukasa clan with a view of having them take over.
Surely they would be discussing something like that at their headquarters, right? Why are you looking for them here?
Actually, they decided to hold this one elsewhere. I'm a little confused as to why, to be honest, but I didn't feel it was my place to question the higher-ups. The meeting place is in the mountains near the Grand Narukami Shrine. I believe the Takatsukasa clan have some kind of base there.
Takatsukasa. Another familiar name. They have been faithfully serving the Kujo clan all these years?
Yes, that's why Master Kamaji decided to discuss things with them. I understand they must have had a lot of ground to cover, but still, there's no way it should have gone on this long. I've searched all over the city. If he really hasn't returned yet, then... Yeah, I thought of that possibility too. But someone of my rank can't just go venturing into Takatsukasa clan territory like that. No need. I'm probably just overthinking things. Besides, if they're still at it, they'll only blame me for interrupting the negotiations. I'm only a lowly servant. But Master Kamaji and I grew up together. It'd be terrible if anything ever happened to him. I'm not as smart as Master, so I can't really share his burdens. But the last thing I'd want would be for him to come to harm when I could have done something about it.
What do you think, Almighty Shogun?
Let's go see what's happening. With me present, they are unlikely to blame you, even if we do happen to interrupt the negotiations. Besides, this has only come about because I failed to make a timely decision. This issue started with me, and I shall be the one to finish it.
Thank you so much, Shogun. I'll keep looking around in the meantime, too. Let me mark out the location of the base for you. I hope everything goes smoothly.
how well hidden this place is.
I can't think of a reason anyone would want to build a structure like this deep in the mountains. I feel something that doesn't belong here. I sense danger.
Huh?
We should proceed with caution. The Kujo clan descendant may well be in trouble.
It's my lucky day!
Here comes the catch. Illusion shattered!
Ways to the wicked! Finally,
Why are there Ronin here? This is a Paleo Commission base!
Something is not right. We must remove all those who stand in our way.
Finally, Ways to the wicked!
Inazuma shines eternal!
Berry! Let's get down to business.
Game's up. Time's over. Illusion shattered!
Finally,
Gotcha! There is no escape! Now you shall perish!
To the fairy! Ways to the wicked! Finally, the fairy! Let's get down to business!
The losers. Things are about to get dicey. Shine down! Flame cutter!
My blade!
Torn to oblivion!
The fairy! Fairy! Flames! Purge!
Game's up. Time's over.
Finally, to the fairy! Let's get down to business. Say no more!
No, my sword! Now you shall perish!
To the fairy!
Take it easy.
It's my lucky day!
Things are about to get dicey. There is no escape!
Flames! Purge! To the fairy!
Body and mind.
What's
Let me leave you a breath. Shine down! Ha! Ha!
Rain outlines it.
Inazuma shines eternal!
Almighty Shogun!
Shogun, what are you?
Descendant of the Takatsukasa clan. Explain what is going on here.
Oh, we're just discussing some minor issues that have cropped up in the Tenryou Commission recently. Really, it's nothing worth the Almighty Shogun worrying about.
And these minor issues warranted the secluded location and the hiring of Ronin and Kairagi to keep guard?
Well, there's been a lot of turmoil lately. It was just out of security considerations, that's all.
Silence. Descendant of the Kujo clan. Your turn.
All right. I came here intending to negotiate, but it turned out all they were interested in was a written confession from the Kujo clan.
A written confession?
Yes. A statement acknowledging every crime committed by the Kujo clan since the inception of the Vision Hunt Decree, including all the recent misconduct.
All factual statements, of course. Not a single one of them fabricated.
I can't deny that. But it also emphasizes the Takatsukasa clan's achievements throughout the document, claiming they stood steadfast all along and fought back against the crisis. These are all falsehoods.
Says who? Why, you two-faced? You're going back on everything you said.
I'm just stating the facts. I'm sure the Almighty Shogun can discern the truth. All the Takatsukasa clan is trying to do is make themselves look good, so they'll be first in line to replace the Kujo clan. Why else would you push a false narrative in the written confession that paints your clan in a good light, and try to make me sign it under duress?
What are you talking about? You're not under duress, we're just negotiating here. You've completely changed your tune.
I believe I now understand the situation.
Don't listen to his nonsense. I'm sure you're well aware of the major failings of the Kujo clan. Surely you, of everyone, knows. Not a single word they say can be trusted.
You are quite mistaken if you think your dispute is of any interest to me. Descendant of the Takatsukasa clan, you wish to become the new Tenryou commissioner. Do I understand this correctly?
Well, yes, of course. It's the eternal pursuit of everyone in the Tenryou Commission to offer our lives in service of the Almighty Shogun.
Then the situation is not as complicated as you seem to have made it. After all, I am the one who appoints the Tenryou commissioner. The process is quite simple. Anyone who can beat me in a duel becomes the new commissioner.
Sorry, a duel with the Almighty Shogun?
The first Tenryou commissioner demonstrated his will with the blade in his hand. That is why the title has been passed down within the Kujo clan ever since. If you want me to appoint a new clan, then naturally, there must first be a new duel. Do you not know how to wield a blade? Or do you simply doubt your abilities on account of your advanced age and declining physical condition? Here you are talking about offering your life, and yet you are too afraid to face my blade.
Well...
Well, never mind. What about one of you, then? Anyone who can defeat me, Takatsukasa or not, will be appointed the new Tenryou commissioner. Does not a single person dare to face me?
I will challenge you, Almighty Shogun.
What?
Descendant of the Kujo clan. Regrettably, even if you win against me, it cannot atone for the wrongs committed under the Kujo name.
I realize that. I don't stand a chance of winning against you anyway. I know full well that the mistakes my father made ought to spell the end of the Kujo clan's legacy in the Tenryou Commission. Even when I was executing the Vision Hunt Decree, I had doubts about my father's decisions. I knew that what I was doing was wrong, but that was as far as I went. I doubted, and I ruminated. I understood the situation perfectly well, but I took no action, and I didn't save a single person. I accept the Kujo clan's decline as punishment for my deeds. I can't even say that I failed to prevent it, because in order to fail, you have to have at least tried.
To be brutally honest, for someone of your strength, there is nothing you could have done, even if you had tried.
Yes. I'm too weak. My father ignores me. My elder brother can't help me. And I even need Ippei to set me straight at times. It's the way it's always been. But if nothing else, and right here, right now in the Kujo clan's final hours, it is I who represent the clan, like my father before me. His duties are now mine to perform. Just as the Shogun said a forefather of mine once showed his will with his sword. Then please, let me, Kujo Kamaji, end the story of the Kujo clan in the same way that it began. This is my last chance to do something.
This is patently meaningless. But I accept. Come forward. The Kujo clan's honor was forged with courage, tempered with integrity, and shines beyond life and death. Show me whether your blade can bear the weight of your name.
Ready to learn, Almighty Shogun.
Another anomaly in eternity. Nevertheless, it appears that the Kujo honor still courses through your veins. Kujo Kamaji is wounded. Descendants of the Takatsukasa clan, it is your responsibility to take care of him. You may not have the courage to challenge me, but I trust that you are capable of attending to a small matter such as this.
Yes, of course. I apologize. I'm sorry. So sorry.
I had heard that the Kujo clan is no longer fit to shoulder the work of the Tenryou Commission. The search for a successor to the role of Tenryou Commissioner is indeed a matter of great urgency. However, following this duel, I have decided to postpone the Kujo clan's punishment for the time being. In the meantime, I expect the Takatsukasa clan to continue supporting the Kujo clan as before.
As you instruct, so it shall be done. We would not dare question the Almighty Shogun's will.
Finally, if you still think you can copy the Fatui's strategy of providing me with deceptive information to produce flaws in my judgment, you will see me appear once again as I have done today. Only next time, my blade will show no mercy.
Understood. Thank you, Almighty Shogun, for your wisdom and mercy.
That will do. I will have the Okuzumeshu continue the investigation from here. Come with me. Let's find a quiet place. There's something I want to talk about with you.
When it's time to deal with the situation, you're just like the Shogun. So strict.
Oh, you think so? I thought I was rather accommodating. If it had been the Shogun, she would have decapitated Kujo Kamaji without a second thought. I do believe he was prepared for that outcome. I could see it in his eyes. The Kujo clan has undergone a dramatic change from its glory days to its present decline. Kamaji is hardly a great heir to the Kujo name, but he has shown me how some things remain the same even as the world around them changes. I also have you to thank. The things we experienced out on the streets and the photo you took of me, they helped me come to this realization too.
So what's next for the Kujo clan? Will they get to carry on being in charge of the Tenryo Commission?
Not a chance. Even if their heir was someone who showed promise, their past mistakes cannot be erased. Still, I will give them a little more time. After all, they are not the only ones who have made mistakes. The Shogun does not make mistakes. She is incapable of doing so. But I, as A, would like to offer my apologies. I have much to contemplate in the days to come. But at least, I can now see the way ahead. I think I'll leave that to the Shogun. The greatest threat to eternity is still the erosion that comes with time. As I said, the Shogun has a robust system to protect her against modification. This is because I anticipated that I, myself, would change over time. But I've made up my mind. So I will do what needs to be done, no matter how difficult it is. This has certainly been a memorable series of events.
Absolutely. You sorted out the Tenryo Commission, and the people in the city got to see a happy and healthy Shogun. All the awful rumors will disappear in no time. If you enjoyed your trip, we should get you out again sometime.
No need. There's no place for such things in my life. Also, please stop making it sound as if I somehow need the company. Okay, I'm ready to head back now. My period of solitude will now continue, but it will not last too much longer. I will leave you humans to deal with any minor issues in the meantime.
Okay, see you next time! Considering a lot of what happened was pretty unexpected, things seem to have worked out surprisingly well in the end. The only thing left to do is return the past permit to Yaimiko.
Take it easy.
Miko, we're back! We had a great trip!
Did you now? Well then, you'll have to tell me all about it. How amusing. The almighty Shogun goes downtown, and suddenly she's like a wide-eyed country girl trying to find her bearings in the big city. Marvelous. What a shame I didn't get to see it for myself. It's fine. She wouldn't mind. Really, she wouldn't. So, from what you were saying, it seems that she's finally begun to comprehend what form eternity should take? That's the most important outcome of this trip. To be honest, I wasn't expecting you'd make such great progress when I lent you the pass permit.
Yeah, it seems like she's not gonna force everything to stay the same way anymore.
To put it nicely, even deities indulge in wishful thinking. To put it more bluntly, there are things that even the Seven can't do when faced with something even more powerful than themselves. Take a guess. Anyway, it sounds like you had a very pleasant trip and even had the chance to see A's less formal side. Next time you wish to see her, you can come and take the pass permit from me again. She would never admit to it, but she does, in fact, get quite lonely.
What? But she said she doesn't need company.
Because she is a god. It's not that gods don't need the company of others, just that the idea of a god having company seems indulgent to her. But you don't belong to this world. Perhaps you are just the company she needs.
Naru, call me, please. See that he stays safe.
Navigating the world is a whole lot easier with a few